Before we jump into our band course, there's some stuff that I need you to pay attention to. First and foremost, if you have a latex allergy or anything similar to a latex allergy, it's really important that you source the correct kind of bands before you jump into this course. What we don't want is you trying to gain strength and endurance and fitness, but you get a skin condition out of it. So make sure that you know what kind of allergies you have and if you're going to react to these kind of bands. And if you don't know if you have that sort of thing, I'd encourage you to actually just test it out by holding on to some for a few minutes, maybe even rubbing a small area on the underside of your arm, just to test out to make sure your skin reacts fine to these. What I don't want you to do is just spend 20 minutes holding on to something and it moving all around you, only to find out later that you actually have an allergy to these things. So make sure that you don't have any kind of rubber or latex or other form of allergies to the bands that we're going to use. Next, I want you to make sure that your dizziness and balance is going to be okay for this. So during this course, we're going to start doing almost everything seated on day one, and by the end, we're going to do everything standing. At no point are we going to be changing levels a lot, meaning we're not going to be getting up and down off the ground, we're not going to be moving a whole lot, but you are going to be doing a little bit of tilting forward and a little bit of twisting. So at no point are we standing on only one leg, but sometimes we are standing with a split stance with one leg in front of the other and one leg out back. So you need to make sure that your balance is up to that challenge. If it's not up to that challenge, then you need to make sure you have balance points that you can hold on to with your hands that are around you. So something like a countertop or a tabletop, or just something to make sure that you're not going to lose balance suddenly. If it turns out that you have a dizziness problem or a lightheadedness problem, it's very important that you go slowly through this course. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, but if you're the kind of person that gets very easily lightheaded or dizzy just from a change of position in your head, whether it be rotating up or down, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to make sure that you're very cognizant of that and that you ease into these exercises very, very slowly and you change positions very slowly. Most people, we're going to be entirely fine. Even if you have a little bit of a vertigo issue in the past, we're usually not going to run into problems with this, but if you've had those, I need you to make sure that you go very, very slowly, and if you're in doubt, make sure you get the clearance of a certified healthcare professional just to make sure that you're okay to go do these sorts of things. Next, this is going to be kind of a catch-all. It's going to be, you need to make sure that you're medically and fitness-wise ready for this kind of program. So this is a little bit of resistance training. It's not very heavy. It's not overly intense, but there is a little bit of resistance. Your heart rate will go up a little bit. Your muscles are going to do some work. So if you're a very, very new beginner to this kind of program, you need to make sure that you start slow. And if you have any kind of cardiovascular issues, if you've had any kind of blood pressure problems or cholesterol problems or anything related to your cardiovascular system that's been an issue in the past medically, it's very important that you seek medical clearance before you begin this course. It's very unlikely that we're going to have any issues because we start very slow and you can scale everything we do back to suit your needs. But if you're an absolute beginner or you're starting at a place where you have these issues and you're trying to fix them or you're trying to improve them, it's very important that you get medical clearance before you jump in and do these exercises. Naturally, one of the things that we're going to run into with a lot of people is going to be previous injuries and pains. So if you've had previous injuries in any area of your body, the chances are we're going to be doing a little bit of work with that area. It could be your feet, knees, hips. This is a full body workout. So we're going to be doing things with our shoulders, with our wrists, with our spine, with our knees, with our ankles. It's not going to be overly intense in any one of those areas, but if you've had previous injuries in those areas, it's very important that you keep close track of them as we go. A little bit of discomfort and a little bit of pain in any of those areas is actually a good thing. Almost any injury requires a little bit of provocation and a little bit of work for it to get stronger and for it to get better. But with that being said, if you have some kind of pain during this course that you feel gets worse afterwards, or it gets worse during and it stays around for more than a couple hours afterwards, it probably means you went a little too hard or you did something that your body doesn't like. So the benchmark I want you to use is discomfort is okay, pain is not. A little bit of pain during is okay, but pain that starts during the course and lasts for hours after the course is not okay. So if you experience those things, it's very important that you dial it back, you do things that are well within your capacity, and that if you're in doubt, you seek the care of a medical professional that has dealt with these injuries for you just to make sure that you're okay. You'll know which of these scenarios applies to you and which one doesn't. But if you're in doubt, please seek the care of a registered healthcare provider before you begin this course. That's it. Let's jump in.